Hi everyone, welcome to the Basics of Squares for Beginners. This is Noodles. He's my helper, my confidant. I could not do this without his help, which I really appreciate it. So I hope you all give him a wave. He's waving back. Thank you, Noodles. I'm putting Noodles on the side now so I can do this lecture. I'll make it part one and part two because it's easier in smaller chunks. So let's begin about the basics of squares for beginners, part one. This is a square. The definition of a square is four sides making a shape. The four sides have to be equal length and 90 degrees to each other, and of course straight lines. That's the definition of a square. And of course there are characteristics. It has what's called rotational symmetry to the order of 4. That means I can keep turning it 90 degrees and in all four directions it will look the same. It's like it's not so for this pencil, because here it looks one way, if I do this it won't look the same, whereas a square will look the same no matter what. If I draw diagonals from one corner to the other of the square, it will make four triangles inside, which will all be the same shape and size, even if they might point in a different direction. The diagonals will all bisect each other. Each side of that triangle, those diagonals from that point are the same length. And I find rather cute, besides the fact that there's a 90-degree or right angle at each corner, there are little right angles, or they're not big or small, there's right angles right in the middle made by the diagonals. So that's characteristics of the square. Here's examples of squares to show they might be different. Some might be a different size, some might be a different color, some might be at an angle, some might be filled in with something, some might not. But as they are all four sides, they are straight, equal length, 90 degrees, they are squares. Even if the square is at an angle relative to each side, those four sides are 90 degrees, that makes that a square. And there are many squares out there. That's just one example of a square. You can see there's this one's got a very thick outline, and I'm just showing one plays around. There'll be all types of squares out there. As long as it meets the rules that I just explained, that would make it a square. And here's another example of a square. This one is colored in with a particular color. I'll let you have it, take a few seconds to look. There you go. And I'm going to just quickly find one square now, just so I can explain a concept. The perimeter of any shape is all the outside added together. As a square, the four sides are equal. So I could take the length of one side multiplied by 4, and that'll get me the perimeter, the outside. And the perimeter and the area of a rectangle is length times width. And of course, as a square, if you can call it length or width are equal, it's just whatever that length is times itself, because that side and that side are equal. And not just that, squares are helpful in finding area. If I say something is 30 meters squared, it means if I took a square that's a meter by a meter, it's the same as saying 30 of those squares put together. As a perfect example, this is a rectangle. Remember rules for area of rectangle: length times width. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times 4, 4 is 20. This area is 20 units squared. If this square is a unit times a unit, the area of this big rectangle corresponds to 20 of these little squares added together. That's what we mean by 20 units squared. It means 20 of those squares put together. And something else about squares, it's a concept, it's called square roots. Actually, that's my imagination. I don't know if these square roots really exist in real life, but it's a nice thought. That's end of part one. I'm breaking it up into little shorter videos so we can see it in smaller chunks. See you again in part two.